Hello, fellow travel enthusiasts. Welcome back to another episode of Travel Preneur. I'm your host, Megan McSwain. Today, we're joined by Chris Dehner, the accomplished Director of Marketing for Modern Destination Weddings, Modern Travelworks, and Modern Travel Agent. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, Megan. How are you doing?
Good. So glad you're here. Chris, Modern Travelworks is known for its dedication to creating personalized vacations for travelers. How does the company leverage its extensive knowledge in destination experience and industry relationships to curate these unique experiences for special events, weddings, lifetime moments for people that are kind of important? Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah. I think, for us, it really starts with our team. Our team loves to travel. I think a big part is you can't really sell or recommend something unless you've experienced it yourself. And we live in a different world now, I think post-COVID maybe, than we did before, where it's super easy and accessible to be able to work from pretty much anywhere. So I think that that's a big part of it. Traveling truly is a passion for our team. Our agents they're all over the place. I mean, right now we have people in the Dominican Republic and Puerto Vallarta. We just have people come back from Europe, from Portugal, from London, Spain. It's actually kind of crazy.
Wow.
So I think that's a big part of it, being able to see and taste and experience it so we know what to recommend for our clients and to make sure that they get to have the experience that they want. One of the things that I tell new agents when I'm mentoring them is this industry is all about relationships. And we've worked very hard to do things the right way and to treat our partners with kindness and to collaborate with them to solve problems when they arise, to make sure that our partners understand that we respect them and appreciate everything that they do for us. And I think that helps us too, because when our clients are in destination, you always want everything to go perfectly. But I think if you're being honest, the true value of a team of travel agents or travel advisors is when things maybe get a little complicated. And so I think that's really where having the relationships in destination help us to give our clients these awesome experiences, but then also resolve any types of complications and make sure everything's always taken care of.
What key strategies are employed to ensure that each journey is not just a trip or a vacation? I mean, these are even beyond that. How do you kind of ensure this really memorable experience for, whether it's the couple or the people celebrating or their friends, family members?
It's a combination of a few things. I think on the front end, a trip isn't just them in destination, it's everything leading up to that. Mm-hmm. So I think that our team works very hard to understand the intricacies of each client. People have different personalities. We have some that are super type A and they want to be involved and they want to do research and they want to plan together. And it's like, they want to drink some mimosas and talk about the things that they found. And that's cool. We can do that, right? And then some people, it's like busy business professional. I don't care. I don't have time. I want you to tell me what you think I should do. So I think a big part of it is leading from sort of the personal, understanding our clients, understanding the type of experience that they want to have leading up to the trip, asking the right questions, really kind of making sure that we understand what they want, and then having the knowledge again from traveling to be able to recommend the types of experiences that they should have in destination. There's no reason to go to another country and spend the entire time at the resort. That's just what I think. I think there's beautiful resorts, but you have to get out and you have to experience the destination and meet the people and do different things. And I think that that's a big part of what we try to do is make great recommendations, give them a great experience on the front end, and then tell them the cool experiences that they need to have off property as well.
Destination weddings specifically require meticulous planning and coordination. So how does Modern Destination Weddings and Modern Travelworks approach those intricacies of organizing those events? And how do your services and tailored solutions contribute to that seamless execution that you want?
I've talked about the team a lot, but again, it's really largely about the team. For instance, the way that we organize and structure our company is a little bit different. A lot of, for instance, destination wedding travel agencies, they have a single person that takes care of the wedding couple. This person helps them find a venue and then books the wedding, but then also has to book the guests as well.
Right.
Well, this can create some conflict because, of course, from a business perspective, what the company gets paid for is booking travel for the guests. So there's an incentive structure that's kind of problematic because you want to take care of the guests, you want to book the guests, but the number one most important people is the wedding couple. Right? They have to have every need taken care of, and they need to make sure that they're confident in the process. So I think that what we've done has put us in a very good place to be able to deliver on both sides. We have a wedding team that all that they do is work with the wedding couples to help them find the venue, to get the wedding booked, and to be there to assist with all of the nitty-gritty of the wedding details, because you can't know everything about every room category and then also every wedding venue and every wedding packages. So we split it up that way. And then we have a travel team that works with the guests to book the travel for the guests and to make sure that they have all their questions answered about passports and transfers and kind of the nitty-gritty of the travel. So I think that that's a big part, is the way that we've set up the business is to be able to deliver a great experience to both the wedding couple and the guests as well.
So the travel industry is constantly evolving. We know that there's new trends, new preferences from people, especially after COVID. Like you mentioned, more people are working remotely. It's easier to do things. So how does modern Travelworks stay attuned to the latest travel trends and emerging customer demands? There's always something new that people want, right?
Yeah, I think because travel is so important to our team, like they were going crazy during COVID. They were constantly going on trips. So I think that's a big part of it, is they're also researching for themselves. They want to see what new places are kind of coming up. For instance, I know maybe it was about 5 years ago, you started to see Tulum as a alternative to what people felt like was, I've already done Cancun, right? Even though even though Cancun isn't just one thing, right? You have Playa Mujeres, you have Cancun Hotel Zone, you have all along the Riviera Maya and Playa del Carmen.
There's tons to do.
There's so much, but people kind of felt like Cancun's one thing and I've already done it. What is something else? And so Tulum was an alternative. And I think more recently we've seen stuff like Halbosh and Bacalar in Mexico, as an example, become more popular. I got to go to Bacalar earlier this year. It's off the charts. I mean, the lagoon of 7 colors, it's unbelievable. So I got to experience that and see that. The Dominican Republic has been a destination that we've seen just growing incredibly. The things that their tourism board and their government is doing. I mean, they have these huge $90 million projects of like fixing up the colonial zone in Santo Domingo. It's incredible. So again, I think to stay in touch with the trends and stuff, it's like you need to be traveling and in destination, but then also just consuming the content. I mean, that's a big thing, is there's so much great content on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram of people going around and experiencing things. And I think our team loves to consume that content too and kind of see what's new.
That's a good way of getting the information, like finding a place on social media and saying, okay, that looks really cool. But then like going and experiencing for yourself, you might discover 10 more things that are cool about that.
And it gives you the personal stories to tell. The best way to sell or to really kind of paint the picture for a client is to have stories. I mean, that's just kind of how our brains are structured. We do better if there's specifics. And so it's a lot easier if you're in destination to say, well, here's what my trip was like. This is what I did. This is my favorite part. I would have done this differently. I think the storytelling aspect makes a big difference and can only really be done when you've been there.
So you transitioned from a travel agent to a marketing director, correct?
Yes.
So how has your firsthand experience in the travel industry influenced your marketing strategies? Clearly you have a wealth of experience, but like we mentioned, things are changing so fast. I'm sure just kind of having that knowledge helps you navigate through the future.
I think there's a lot of things I learned from being a travel agent that would have been counterintuitive from the beginning. I remember early on, there was this sense of like, because in this industry, you have to hand your clients off so many times. Like you don't control their experience and destination, right? Once they get to the transfer company or the hotel, that's your partner's responsibility. And so as an example, there was this feeling I remember early on where it's like, if something went wrong, I like wanted to make sure they understood it wasn't my fault. Because it's like, I have no control over that aspect. I'm going to do everything I can to be solution oriented. And I realized quickly, like the client doesn't care. The client just wants it fixed. They don't need an explanation. They just want their problem solved. Right. And so I think that when you have certain experiences like that, that's affected the way that I think about marketing too. Like you don't need all this over the top stuff. It's just like, what is their problem? What are they trying to solve? Like, what are they trying to learn? What are they trying to know? Most wedding couples, if you're honest, they have the same needs at the top level, right? They're overwhelmed. They're stressed. They don't know what to do. There's too much information online. It's like an overload, and they need a trusted person to kind of hold their hand that's going to take care of them the entire stretch of the way and make recommendations and empower them to make the right decisions as well, so that they also have an active part in the planning. So I think working one-on-one on the customer service side and the sales side helps you realize that sometimes we overcomplicate things. And if you just listen to the customer, they're going to tell you what they want. And if you can just communicate your ability to deliver on that to your client, then I think that they'll also respect and understand that too.
This episode is brought to you by travelpayments.com. Travel businesses have unique needs when it comes to credit card processing. From large average ticket sizes and tolerance for higher chargeback ratios to simple integrations with the most popular shopping cart systems, the travel industry specialists at travelpayments.com have you covered. Unfortunately, many of the most popular credit card processors initially accept travel businesses, but without warning, freeze their merchant accounts and the thousands of dollars in them because these service providers don't understand or support the unique needs of travel industry business. Don't get stuck with one of the big guys who will freeze you out without a moment's notice. Instead, work with the travel industry specialists who will support your business every step of the way. Visit travelpayments.com to get a free quote today. You mentioned the relationships that you have with partners on site. How does Modern Travelworks and its related brands foster these relationships with hotels, resorts, airlines, and just kind of get those exclusive deals and packages that you're able to then offer to your clients?
So I think a big thing for us, being that we're a family business, it was my brother, my mom, and I. And so it was like big on the company culture that when we started bringing people in, it was like a family. That said a lot, but truly like to care about people. And so I think we've worked very hard as to establish a company culture that is like a family where you love and you care and you take care of your team. And it's not just our team. We never wanted it to just be like, oh, if we're at an event, it's just our team that's a family and then everybody else is on the outside. Like that's a horrible thing. So we've always been intentional about wanting the people around us to feel like they're involved and they're part of the family. That also extends when things get complicated. You know, sometimes people lose their temper. And I've seen a lot of situations where agents will write an email to a partner that's why? It's not helpful. It's rude. It's aggressive. Right. And so I think that the way that we always work to communicate with our partners is first and foremost respect. Like we both want the same thing. We both want our mutual clients to have a great experience. So let's focus on the solution and how we can fix it. And I think because we've worked very hard to be kind and respectful to our partners, I think they appreciate that. And that's allowed us to build some great relationships because they know if everything's going great, everything's going great. But it's like when things go hard, when there's challenges, kind and respectful and to do things the right way. So I think that's helped a lot.
That's great advice all around, really.
Right. I mean, it's also just, if you're just being selfish too, you're going to get more out of like just being kind to people and it doesn't cost you anything. So like, why wouldn't you just be nice and smile and understand that every person's going through some stuff too. And they got some stuff at home.
Exactly.
So some grace.
Exactly. Use that advice in all aspects of life, really, and you'll go far. So marketing obviously plays a pivotal role in any business. How does Modern Destination Weddings and Modern Travelworks utilize tools like digital platforms, social media to engage with clients, but also potential clients? How do you guys kind of incorporate that? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, you want to have sort of this dance or this marriage between the two things. You have like the old tried and true stuff, right? The website, the information, right. The email marketing, newsletter, you don't have to recreate everything because some clients they like that. And then you do need to test with new types of social media, new types of tools. For instance, I just bought, I haven't even used them yet, but I just bought the new Meta AI sunglasses with the cameras on the rims.
Oh, wow.
So I'm excited to try that for a site inspection. I was just curious, what is that like as opposed to carrying a phone around all the time? What is it like to kind of give a first person view of the experience on resort? So I'm going to be creating content and stuff for social, for stories, reels, TikTok, stuff like that. It's not crazy like AR and VR yet, which I think we'll eventually get there. I think we're a little ways off, but kind of that interim of like new tools and new technology to, again, you're just trying to tell a story and give people an idea of the type of experience that they can have. And so anything that you can do to be a little bit different or a little bit unique, I think can be interesting to people.
So it's a family business. What is yours and your family's vision for the future of Modern Travelworks and its brands? How do you sort of plan to further solidify its position in the industry?
Yeah, so I think I kind of divide it into two different categories. Number one, it's on the first and foremost, is to stay true to kind of the company culture. Sometimes as companies grow, they lose their identity that made them special in the first place. And I think that that's on our mind, is that as we continue to bring people in, is to make sure that we welcome them the right way, that they understand the kind of the way that we want to do business and we want to treat other people in the industry, other travel agencies too, right? It's like community over competition, right? It's kindness in everything that we do. So I think that that's a big part, as far as that will do a lot, because I think ultimately that makes your employees and the team happier. And if your team is happier and they feel more passionate, they're going to be able to deliver better for the clients anyway. So it just makes sense for everybody. On a more like business point of view, we have some big projects we're excited about. We want to continue to up our game on the destination wedding space. So we're working with our partners to find sort of unique offerings and kind of unique comps that we can offer in destination to just give destination wedding couples a unique experience in destination. Again, everybody wanted to do the beach, and then you started to see more sky terraces. And so the trends are going to continue to change.
Right.
We know a lot of agents are maybe resistant sometimes to change or to technology, and kind of it's a little tricky. So we're trying to make that easy. We've been working on it for 2 years, set to release that this next year. So I think that's going to help other agencies do kind of what we've done to scale the business through groups and to stay organized and structured, and to make sure that you're able to deliver the best experience for your clients. So it's like we have some exciting things. We have some travel, like chaperone trips with our leisure teams, where our agents travel with a group of people and kind of have fun together.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, so there's a lot of projects that we're working on. We're excited for. I think ultimately it's just, again, listening to the market and the customer and kind of figuring out what they want. It seems people want unique experiences, and how do you deliver on that?
I feel like you've given such wonderful advice, really, but we ask everyone this. As someone who's been in the travel industry and obviously has a wealth of experience, what advice would you offer to aspiring travel marketers and entrepreneurs looking to kind of establish their presence in this space?
This industry is relationship driven. It's 100% relationship driven. So make sure that you're trying to find, there's, for instance, something as easy as for instance, if you're a travel agent, as an example, that's a lot of people that we work with are agents that book travel. There's all types of travel agent only Facebook groups that you can join, that you can kind of connect with other agents, see how they do business, start to build relationships so that when you go to industry events, you see people that you know. I think really other people in the space, quote unquote competition, you can collaborate with them. There's enough, an abundance for everybody. So I think understanding that you can learn something from other people who are in the space, partners, build relationships with them. And also because I think one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs face is that grind is brutal and it's lonely. It's so hard. It's crazy long hours. Nobody's experiencing that. Nobody knows what you're going through when you're doing it. And you can feel like you're out on an island. You're supposed to solve all the problems, right? So I think that also making sure that you plug yourself into the community and you don't make yourself kind of their challenges of how they feel and the problems that they're trying to solve and how they're doing it. And I think you also feel less lonely. Just making sure that you're part of the community and that you're doing things the right way. I think it's great for the industry, for the community, and for you as a person too. So relationship driven, 100%. That's always correct.
Sort of creating a virtual office space where you can kind of bounce ideas off of each other without even having to leave your house. Well, this has been so insightful, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing your journey and all that you guys are doing. Let our listeners know where they can learn more about Modern Destination Weddings and the other brands, and where they can get in touch with you if they want to learn more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty much all the social, you have TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. It's at Modern Travelworks, at Modern Destination Weddings, at Modern Travel Agent, or at Chris Dehner. We also have modern.travel website, moderndestinationweddings.com, moderntravelagent.com. It's pretty much all the standard stuff. You go into Google, search the brand names, we're going to come up. Any questions that y'all have about travel, destination weddings, being a travel agent, travel, we're here to help out. So I'd love to hear from anybody.
Great. Sounds good. Well, we would love to catch up with you again in the future. Thank you so much for joining us today. To our listeners, please follow and subscribe for future episodes and leave us reviews. That helps us out a lot. Thank you so much, Chris. Take care.
Thank you, Megan. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.